Hey everybody, Greg Como, Wednesday night, 8:30, October 11th. All is okay here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've had hundreds of calls on a product that I've been talking about lately that I'm selling a heck of a lot of it out there, and it's called Arthro D. It takes people out of pain. This isn't a sales pitch. This is actually a show on pain, as you guys know, girls know. If you don't, I was in a car wreck back in, I think it was March, middle of March. I was hit head on by a kid who was texting, wasn't paying attention, hit me right side of my neck. I have some disc problems for the first time in my life, and it is hell to sleep at night on my right side. Forget it. And that's how I like to sleep, and it's just tough. So with a little bit of sleep apnea, I decided today I was talking last night about sugar, but I talked with Dr. Cockham today. My blood pressure was a little raised. It was like 130/78. So I said, I'm done with sugar, done with playing the game of having my cake and eat it too, at least for me. I want to be, a symbol of fitness and health and wellness for you guys and girls out there. So, and let you know that I'm human too. But sometimes there comes a time when you have to say enough is enough, and when my blood pressure is the least bit compromised, I'm probably a little hypochondriatic, I just say enough is enough. So my usual staple of food tonight is quinoa and brown rice. I put a half a cup in there, 5 whole eggs, put a little bit of pesto sauce in there, organic. So the reason why it's organic is this one doesn't have any sugar, salt, anything like that, and a turkey burger. So I cook about 5 or 6 of those during the day, put them in my Tupperware, and that's what me and Chusky eat, and baby girl, Jade, my daughter. But anyway, I've had a lot of people as of late really thank me and say Arthro D is absolutely working for me. It helps me out. I'd be in a hell of a lot more pain if I didn't take this guy right here. And this allows me at least to sleep at night because, Dr. Johnson, who's an orthopedic surgeon, Tom Cockham, neuromuscular doctor, both told me enough is enough, man. You're taking too much Advil. There are some side effects to it, taking it day after day. And this guy here being a little arthritic, and I kind of, did my checks and balances and said, I think the sugar has me probably hurting a little bit in some spots as opposed to not. So rather than end up with arthritis and the high amounts of inflammation, like I always talk with Troy Davidson, who's a real good friend of mine online that I met on Facebook, real informative, intelligent guy who's always sharing some incredible bits of information. The guy does incredible research. And inflammation is definitely our foe. So I'm trying to take that out of the equation so my knees don't hurt as bad, my hips don't hurt as bad, because those are the things that start to hurt on me when I start to get a little rambunctious in my diet and eat out of context as I shouldn't. So I'm back on my diet. I'm eating good, and my diet is a good, healthy, simple. I'm a creature of habit. I eat the same thing day in and day out. And don't get bored with it, because I think my quality of life is more important than my taste for foods and having the things I want day after day after day. So, if you can find it to say 5-6 days a week, I'm going to eat great. I'm going to exercise at least 3 or 4 days of those days. Maybe stretch, do a little yoga, a little meditation at nighttime before you go to sleep. Or like I give you guys online, I'll be glad to share more with you. Little nighttime workouts I do. They're called stress relievers, before nighttime. And I have a program coming out, 21x3. It's 21 minutes a day, 21 pounds in 21 days. You can make some drastic changes in your life. And then, of course, I have the Fitness Freak program for you guys and girls out there that really want to get some, some good muscle and get some roundness and aesthetic lines to your body. Then hit me up. I'll be glad to help you. But tonight is all about pain. I've been in pain, and like I say, I never was in pain before, so I was never a proponent of Vioxx and things like that, Celebrex and aspirin, and I don't even take an aspirin. So once in a while I do, for your heart. I'm going to be 63 January 22nd, so I at least want to keep myself safe and guarded as best I can. and they say that an aspirin away keeps heart attacks away. But for me, sometimes I tend to get bloody noses if I take them too often. So I'll take a baby aspirin probably 2 times a week, and I feel like I'm good to go, knock on wood. But this guy right here is incredible. It's, the company that I'm with, Cloisonne, Michael Alden, I've done infomercials with him. The guy's research and development, I promise you, is off the charts. The 2 scientists that he works with out there out of Boston University, I mean, the guy's just incredible. Spiro, another guy that makes some of his formulations for him, is incredible. John Asal, who does another product called Androzine. You guys got to check them out. They're incredible products, but like I say tonight, I'm talking about pain. I have hundreds of people that are literally buying this from me month after month. It's called Arthur D. It's an all-natural COX-2 inhibitor, and I could go over some of the products with you and components that are in it, but you have to look for yourself. You can go on greg.cloisonne.com. That's greg.cloisonne.com, and Christy will post the site, how you can get on it real easy, and you can find out exactly the components that are in it. They're all natural, they're all safe. The synergy and components that are put into it, I mean, they really are second to none. When I got on it, probably it took me about 5 days before I started feeling the effects again of staying out of pain, and I got on it after my wreck, probably about 2 months later, because I'm hard-headed and I think I don't need anything, but I did this time because I'm in pain. I don't sleep worth a damn at night as it is, but it's been a little tough for me, so I'm starting to work out at nighttime so that way I can at least tire myself out. So, I eat the right things at night, not too much. I eat light, and I can go to sleep, at least get 4 good hours of sleep. Dr. Cockerham wouldn't agree with me on that because he's always after me to get a CPAP. I'm hard-headed, but I promise you I've done the sleep, deal. So I'm going to get me a CPAP in the next couple of days, and hopefully that'll be okay with me. I am claustrophobic. I don't know. I'm liable to wake up in the middle of the night and take the damn thing off my face and throw it to the side. Christy's father is another one who uses it, and they say if you use it long enough that you can, you get better and you can sleep without it. I hope that's the case because I definitely need it. I wake up too many times choking in my sleep, literally choking my sleep, and that's all I need is a heart attack with her and 10-year-old daughter and my other 2 daughters and grandkids out in California. But pain. There's lots of pain out there. People sit in sedentary positions. They sit, you got workers that are at the chemical plants. I got a lot of guys. I got a lot of girls that are out there, I was going to say Caltrans, but in whatever it is here in Louisiana, these people that are working on the highways, they're running flags all day. They get shoulder injuries. They get neck injuries just from compounding, the injury day after day, doing this all day with flags and, standing on their feet. After a while, you get edema. Your ankles start to hurt, your knees start to hurt, and maybe if you're eating a bad diet, after a while you gain weight. That's compounded by, you have that visceral fat around your waist, and your lower back starts to hurt. I have so many people that hit me up online and say, man, my lower back is killing me. What do I do? And I give them a bottle of Arthur D, and I swear to you, I probably out of 150 people a month that buy it, maybe 2 returns. In all, the return is unbelievable because the R&D, again, is just off the charts. Michael Alden, look him up. That's Michael, A-L-D-E-N, Alden. He does the Michael Alden Report. He has several bestseller books that are out there. The guy is super intelligent, super go-getter, dedicated husband, father, dad, businessman. He's off the charts. He's entrepreneurial, and the guy has risen to the top in the infomercial world. And believe me, in the infomercial world, you don't get to the top selling crap. People catch on to you real quick, and after 2 or 3 times, the auto ships are gone and you're out of business. But Mike sells some flagship products that absolutely change people's lives, and I've seen every pill, powder, and potion there is come down the tunnel in pain. I did a product which was a revolutionary breakthrough. It was called Flex Protects a couple of years back, about 6 or 7 years ago, and it's evolved and it's changed. And some of the contents in it was originally formulated by a lady I helped formulate it with, Patty McPeak. I think she now has Alzheimer's, unfortunately, but she developed it. She was a formulator out of El Dorado, California. and formulated it for her husband who had osteoarthritis. Just a brilliant lady. And, you know, Mike and them somehow got the formulation, put her on an infomercial. I ended up being a spokesperson for it. It made millions and millions of dollars. And after that, it evolved. You know, Mike opened up his own company, Blue Vase Marketing, and this is falls under Cloisonne. The infomercials are done with Blue Vase Marketing. But Arthur D is my force field for pain. I mean, I don't want to take, you know, Advil anymore. It was literally eating a hole in my stomach. I felt like hell. I was having upset stomachs all the time. I wasn't having proper eliminations. I was always stopped up, and I couldn't figure it out. And after a while, you know, Dr. Cockerham told me, dude, you're taking too much of it. Stop it. You know, it's not even healthy for you anyway. And the pain only subsides for a certain amount of time. I take this guy here, and, you know, it's 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and I swear it to you, I feel like $1 million. You know, I'm out of pain, and it buffers it, but it buffers it with nutrition. So that's what I can tell you guys and girls about it. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I understand some of the components that are in it. They're all natural, and they're great for your system. And I think when you feed your body the proper components, the proper nutrition, minerals and vitamins day after day, what you do is you refortify it. You refortify your immune system. And, you know, sleep, you know, has its problems too. If you're not sleeping out there, after a while, you develop a certain amount of inflammation in your body. And it's been said, it's been written, because I read all the time on sleep deprivation, things like this, because I'm writing a book called College Fit, College Smart, and sleep deprivation is one of the main topics I talk about in it for kids that are out there in college, and how productivity is slowed or it's increased relative of whether you're sleeping or not sleeping. But there are certain cells in your body that are destroyed when you're not sleeping good, and when those cells are destroyed, that means your immune system is compromised, and cancer is right there knocking at the door to metastasize, and that's how these things happen. So take care of your bodies, you know, eat right so you can sleep right, you can refurbish yourself. That's how you recuperate, and most of all, hydrate yourself. Get rid of the damn sodas. Get rid of the booze, man. I got so many people, you know, that are back here in Louisiana. I don't mean this bad, because I've drank myself on occasions, but I'm not a big drinker. I don't like it. I don't have the palate for it, and I can, you know, say, hey, 10 minutes from now, my buzz is going to be gone, and I'm going to feel like crap. So why even waste my time with it? Let me drink water. Let me eat good food and look good and feel good. And my day's a lot better off for it. My quality of life is a lot better. Day after day after day. Take it one day at a time. But if you have pain, hit me up online. You know, you guys are evidently online. Hit me up, private message me, and I can give you a regimen where you can, I promise you, in 3 weeks, 21 days, you'll feel the difference in how you feel, how you sleep, how you recuperate, how you get up and you jump out of bed. Your mental acuity is a lot better. Your focus, your clarity is a heck of a lot better than it was, as opposed to not sleeping right, as opposed to having high, you know, amounts of inflammation. Because what happens is when that inflammation hits you, you get lethargic, you get tired, and day after day that snowball effect hits you, and you get to 1 o'clock lulls. You get tired at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's almost a chore to get up at 6:30. You get up and you suck down a lot of coffee, and, you know, and after that you eat a couple of sweets, or, you know, some bread and stuff, and you're on your way to eating simplex carbohydrates, so you're already starting your day off wrong. I can show you guys and girls, if you want to eat right, I can show you a shortcut, but an effective shortcut to losing weight. You know, most of all, right here in this area here, it's important to keep that waist healthy, because, you know, they say life begins in the colon and you die in the colon, you know, right there. So, you know, it's important to know that health really is an inside job. Cosmetically, you know, the exterior always looks good. It's good to look great, but you'd be surprised if you cut the sugar out, you cut a lot of the booze out. You know, I'm not saying quit what you're doing down here in Louisiana, but I'm saying, hey, if you're going to have your tailgating on the weekends, for instance, or you want to go out on Friday nights with your significant other, you know, your girlfriend, the buddies, you know, go out, drink responsible, be smart about it. But damn it, get in the gym the next day and say, you know what, I'm better for it. I don't need to drink a lot of booze and tear myself apart, because, you know, I was telling a couple of guys tonight, Booze retards the growth of muscle for about 36 to 72 hours. There's that lapse in there to where the cells say, okay, you destroyed us with fermentation, with sugar, with booze here, to where, okay, what are we supposed to do? This is destroyed us, filled us full of ammonia and inflammation, and you have to feed us and you have to offset it. Well, there's a big generalization as to how much time lapses as to what happens when you eat a lot of sugar, you eat an abundance of it, or you drink a lot of booze, which happens necessarily to a lot of people down here in the South in Louisiana. And, you wake up feeling like hell the next day, any day. It robs you of your vitamins and minerals. So try to do it, keep it at a minimal, be smart in your life. And obsession is not a good thing for anybody in any aspect, in any part of your life. Be obsessed with eating good. In that respect, it's good. Be obsessed with taking care of your kids, your significant other, thanking God for the things you have. And if I never did that, I definitely do it at 62 years of age. I'm lucky to have made it to where I am. And I've been out there on the slow track, and I've been out there on the fast track. But I'm now on the smart track, and I'm back in Louisiana. I'm with somebody that I love very much, and I have wonderful children, grandkids I've been blessed with, 2 good brothers, and some great friends out there. And like I say, 2 good doctor friends that couldn't ask for better, man. They're always there when I ask them for something. I mean, Alan's always there, especially Tom Cockerham, because Alan's very busy. T is very busy, but Tom has a scope of interest into the world I'm in, and that is bodybuilding. So we have that vested interest together. But also shout out to Alan, because he keeps his butt in shape, and it's not easy, man, being a doctor, and the effort and the empathy and the dedication that these guys have, especially these 2 guys, is incredible. The people they see on a daily basis, they help people out, and you learn a lot from them. I've learned a lot from them. They're real good friends. And so we talk about pain as well, and both of them agree that Arthur D is an incredible product. Again, I'm not trying to sell you guys. What I'm trying to sell you on is take care of your bodies. If you are in pain, just check it out. Find out. Hey, you can even get a bottle for free. I think Mike will oblige you the first bottle if you buy your second bottle. But really, it's an incredible product. I don't live on it, but when I'm in pain, as I am right now, for the next 5 or 6 months, whenever this is going to diminish and go away, and I'm getting trigger point injections, which I hate needles. I'm getting worked on by an excellent massage therapist. There's a couple out there. I mean, you got Mario, who's there with Tom Cockerham, is just off the charts. You got Jay Mand over at Foxy. So those are 2 prominent, incredible massage therapists that are kings of their craft. And, both of them have worked on me. Right now I work with Mario because he's at Tom's office, and the guy is off the charts. He's knowledgeable. His hands are platinum, not even gold. They're incredible. He doesn't hurt you. He works on you, and he's great. He knows the lay of the land with the contour of your muscles and your joints, so there's no impinging. When some massage therapists work on you, it's like, oh, God, that hurts me. Just, he's an incredible guy out there. So that helps my pain subside and stay at a lull. But when it comes to the nighttime, I still start to have a certain amount of pain to where I agonize, and I'm like, God, I turn and I turn and I turn at night, and it's not from sleep apnea so much as it is, my shoulder, my neck, and my hips. So irregardless of whether it came from the wreck or not, I wasn't really injured until then, and it hurts like heck, to be injured for the first time in life, because people think, yeah, you look like this picture of health, but it's like anybody can get injured. So don't be ashamed if you're injured and you walk with a cane, or God forbid, you're in a wheelchair, but we all suffer all types of pain, especially as you're getting older. The body's corroding. I think after 50, they say at a 3-to-1 ratio as opposed to when you're a kid, because, really and truly at about 48, I started to feel my body change. I started to feel that battery slowly start to diminish, and I thought, time to really give back. I've taken a lot, and that is, I haven't abused it, but I've taken a lot by playing a lot of sports, golf through the years. I played a heck of a lot of pickup basketball, flag football games in which I broke 2 ribs, about 5-6 years ago in California, playing a pickup game with Brian Reeves and some buddies out there with former college and pro football players. and MMA guys, and it ended up in not a brawl, but it tackle football with flags. But I ended up getting my ribs broke because I flew over the side of a section of people that were out there watching. It was a nice charity game anyway, and I hit a chair, a two-pronged chair, and it just hit me and kept playing. Didn't think anything of it until I went home that night and had problems. And man, to have those two ribs broke were a pain in the butt for about 3 months there. But this is, to me, even worse because I like to put my neck a certain way to sleep at night so I'm comfortable, so I can at least get in that mode of saying, okay, I'm comfortable. Let me get my 4, 5, 6 hours. But man, when I turn and turn and turn, it's tough for me. So, I take this guy, Arthur-D, and I take it about an hour before I go to sleep, and it just kind of puts me out. I took it probably 20 minutes ago, and for some reason, it almost acts like promethazine. And if you don't know what promethazine is for people that are in pain. And no, excuse me, it's not for people that are in pain. It's for stomach problems. If you have stomach pain, like an upset stomach, something like that. I was thinking of Lortabs, things like that. But there are a lot of people that I deal with, incidentally, that have taken Lortabs, Oxycontin, that tell, and Kratom, I think it's called Kratom. Get it off the internet. But man, I have about 50 plus people that have been on, that I love it, that have been on Lortabs and Oxycontin and have gotten off of them for this guy right here. I mean, they literally thank me more than the people who have incredible injuries and have been on other products and refused to take those. But these are kids that unfortunately got hooked on drugs. They still had pains from different injuries and things like that. But a lot of these drugs out there are addicting, folks. And please, I know so many people that have gone in that have never done a drug in their life. They go in because they were in an accident, because I met Tom Cockerhams all the time, and Alan being an orthopedic surgeon. These guys deal with people. Their job is to deal with people that are in pain. And you would not believe the moms, the dads, the business people, the lawyers, the prominent people, from laymen and women to all types of people and, all types of professions that get hooked eventually on these damn drugs because they feel good. It's a euphoric feeling. Naturally takes them out of pain. But I'm saying tonight, if you suffer from one of those problems, please, look me up. Just try Arthur-D. I promise you I'll get a bottle. You can find out how you can get it. You can go on greg.cloisonne.com. Again, Christy will post it. And I promise you, after about 5 days, you'll take yourself out of pain. And that's the most important thing. Take yourself out of pain. If you have an addiction problem, that may help solve it. If not, that's a deeper rooted problem. But I deal with a lot of bodybuilders. I deal with a lot of track stars. I deal with, suddenly, a lot of football players. And, naturally I'm dealing with a lot of women from all over the country that are into Pilates. I deal with a lot of bike racers for some reason. People call me up from all over the country, and they usually have knee problems and back problems. A lot of the bike racers that have called me, I think I had like 12 guys in the last month, Christy, guys at bikes that say, I'm sitting there riding the whole time and I'm keeping my neck up like this, and a lot of them acquire a lot of injuries. So, with being a great athlete or tackling a sport that you like and you want to make it a full-time hobby, with it along the way comes the trials and tribulations of agonizing little injuries that sometimes can, manifest themselves into major injuries, and that's the people who I deal with, and it helps take them out of injuries, and that's what I want for most people anyway. Heck with the money. I mean, the money's good. I do well in personal training people, but more than anything, at 62 years of age, I can be gone tomorrow, so I kind of want to give back to people. I feel like it's good luck, good karma, whatever it is, that I'm doing right by people, helping them out. Some people don't have the money. I don't charge them. I help them out. I just want them to get a better quality of life. The people that have it, I explain to them, this is my life, this is my profession. I can't afford the luxury of doing things for free all the time, but a lot of the times I do give free advice. I do give people some helpful tips, I think, that increase their quality of life and change their lives. And that's why I do a lot of podcasts online to show people simple exercises you could do at night in the comfort of your own home, that you'll leave out a lot of the injuries. Unfortunately, when you're in the weight room, per se, You know, you're lifting weights after a while, you get that euphoric high, you know, that classic high that runners get. It's called the runner's high, but I get it in bodybuilding or weightlifting, whatever you want to call it. You know, girls get it in fitness, they get it in, you know, cycling, they get it in, you know, aerobics classes, whatever it is. Sometimes you tend to overdo it, and especially in weights. And man, after a while, especially as you get older, it's tough on your joints. It's tough to come down from it, and how do you buffer it? You know, you can only eat so much food to grow, but aside from growing, you have to sleep. You have to, you know, get the right recuperation in, so the next day you do it again, and you got to be smart and meticulous about how you do it. You know, I tell most people I look at a week as a 10 to 12 day period, and I lift about 6 days in that 10-day period, so that way I give myself at least ample time to stay out of the gym and grow. You know, Mike Menser, a guy I used to lift weights with when I first got to California, they looked at me as the kid that had some talent. So him and Ray, the guys of Heavy Duty, asked me would I like to start lifting with him, and I said, God, of course. So I started lifting with him, but the Heavy Duty was an excruciating, tough way to lift weights. Casey Vierda was doing it at the time, and Casey was a lot stronger than I was. He was one of the strongest guys I ever knew in my life, from down there, in the, you know, towards Lafayette, Opelousas area. But at any rate, I had a lot of pain back then. It was tough, and the biggest thing was recuperating. And Mike Mensa used to tell me bodybuilders overtrain. If they didn't have the steroids that they have available to them, they'd all look like marathon runners, because the majority of them overtrain. And Tom Cockerham and I have agreed on that one point. I think it's better to stay out of the gym. Let your body recuperate, and know that the mirror can only hurt you more times than it can help you. You know, ego's a tough thing to overcome after a while. But if you could get to the point, if you can get to the point where you're saying, you know, 2 days on, 2 days off, 1 day on, 1 day off, you know, 1 day on, 2 days off, you know, whatever you want to do. But I try to make it about 5 days out of 10, and I swear to you, my body doesn't grow. I'm not going to get any bigger, but I feel good at 62 years of age. You know, I was riding about 230 pounds tonight in my underwear, so I feel good. My waist is about 31, so a little bit bigger than normal. It'll be down because I'm getting back, like I say, on my diet. And this guy here, to go back to pain, the best thing about it is there's no side effects. You're not going to get high. I don't like to get high. And, you know, back in the day, I smoked a little pot, I drank, I did steroids, but that was years and years ago. I'm much smarter now for it, and I take things that are exclusively beneficial to my body, and I want things that are going to benefit me, that are going to take me out of pain, that are going to help me at least stay with the quality of life that I have now. Because if I could feel like I'm 35 at 62 years of age, I figure I'm ahead of the game. I can still, you know, hit, swing, you know, play basketball, do the things I once did, but I'm smarter with a lot of the sports that I do now, because I don't want to compromise myself and maybe get an injury, so I leave the basketball to the young studs out there. And, you know, I stay in the gym. You know, I like to still play golf. You know, I like to play a little tennis, but more than that, you know, I play about 2 hours a day on the guitar. I've always played music since I was a kid, and those things are fun for me. That's been a compromise too, because I had an injury from a wreck that I was in 2 years ago. I was hit in the back at 40 miles an hour by a guy sitting at a light waiting for a fire truck and an ambulance to pass, and I don't think he got it that you were supposed to stop. And he hit myself, my daughter, and her friend at 7:30 in the morning, and that I think it was 3 years ago now, when you guys had that freeze here, so I had to get out of the car at 28 degrees at 7:30 in the morning when it was freezing out there at Plank Road as I was crossing over to Hooper from Harding. So I was in unfamiliar territory. It was freezing cold. The guy was nice. Luckily he had insurance, but it still didn't heal this guy here. And I think I will probably have problems with this down the road, because it's a little deformed now. I have a big bump on it, and really I will sit there and do this at night till I go to sleep. But this has got bad too from a wreck, so I'm unlucky. Baton Rouge has got some perilous drivers out there. I think we're #1 in the nation for having the angriest, I think I'm right when I say that, the meanest or the angriest drivers. You can look that up, and I think that's a factual statement. And you guys and girls, be nice out there. Jeez, man. Just in a hurry, climbing up everybody's butt at every light, you know. And there's old people out there, you know. Don't go in and out of people and compromise their lives or their safety by jetting past them in your Camaros and your Chargers and, you know, and your Mustangs, and you know who you guys are out there, and your little girls out there that just got your licenses. You know, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but I am pointing fingers at you. Slow your asses down and be nice to people out there, you know. That's what we need. We need more nice. We don't need more pain, you know. No pain, no gain. Bullshit, you know. That's Arnold. That's old liberal Arnold. I don't buy his crap anymore, Arnold. I don't buy it. So don't get me started on him. So anyway, you know, be nice to one another out there. Take yourself out of pain. If you need a good product, get Arthur D. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I sometimes run at the mouth. Hey, I'm a coon-ass. What do? We talk a lot down here. Talking so much that I think LSU is going to whip ass this weekend. So hopefully you guys will pray strong, just like you did against Florida. Bring everybody in. Get behind Ed Orgeron. The guy's a real nice guy. I know, you know, his record maybe isn't this, but man, people vacillate here. 1 minute they don't want Les Miles. He's fired. Now they got Ed Orgeron. Stick behind people. Do what you say what you do. And hopefully these guys will win. They're giving it their all. They're a bunch of young guys out there busting their butts. And after all, the SEC is the toughest there is out there. And these guys deal with pain every single day. I talk to football players all the time, talk to basketball players. Don't think these guys and girls just go out there and perform and don't succumb to injuries. Man, they got little hurts out there every single week, even in practice, that they deal with. So when you see them looking all pretty and all decked out in their outfits and their, you know, their uniforms, hey, you know, all that glitters is not gold. People all suffer from pains of all sorts, you know, whether it be mentally, whether it be physically. You know, be nice to one another, folks. That's what I have to say. And God bless everybody, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Get Arthur D. Take yourself out of pain. I'm Greg Como. Love you guys, and peace. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.